Everyone, it's like 10 o'clock and we've packed up from the campground and just shot down to a flush toilet. And we're heading out of Puriroa Park, Puriroa Forest Park today, heading up to some accommodation in Te Awamutu for the next couple of nights. So part 2 is just about done, and we'll check in later. Remember, thrive, not survive. Hey guys, we're in Te Awamutu for a couple of nights, back from Puriroa Forest. Amazing spot, absolutely fantastic, but obviously no data, no reception, nothing. We had a good couple of days out there, and tomorrow we've got a pretty cool trip planned, and I'll fill you in about that later. Stopped at the Aotearoa Kiwi House today. It was awesome, and yeah, fill you in a bit more about that later. Just chilling out for the night because we're all stuffed. As much as I love camping and as much as I love MJ, tents aren't my thing anymore. I'd rather be in my hammock, so haven't slept the best the last couple of nights, which is why we're at a cabin tonight. Just thought I'd better check in. I'm an idiot and forgot to take any video at Aotearoa, but I did take lots of photos, so we'll edit that together. So it's slideshow time. The plan was to have a bit of a chilled out, pack up and head to the motor camp day. I had hugely misjudged the timing of the drive from Puriroa to Te Awamutu via Tikawiri, but to be fair, my reference was the bad weather drive on the way into the campground. When we reached Aotearoa, we discovered that we had almost 2 hours until check-in time at the motor camp and only a 20-minute drive left. So we decided to have a look at the Aotearoa Kiwi House. Aotearoa Kiwi House is one of New Zealand's oldest viewing houses. It's part of the New Zealand-wide captive breeding programs, and it has a wide variety of New Zealand native birds, lizards, eels, and of course the kiwi. Being a nocturnal bird, and being in a controlled environment, meant we didn't get any photos of the kiwi itself. One thing I found really interesting was Ben's reactions. He really liked the kiwi house, and I literally had to drag him out. He really wasn't too bothered about the birds free roaming around him, but as soon as you put a piece of perspex or a fence, he wanted to know what was on the other side. New Zealand has a very unique ecosystem. We have the world's oldest animal, often referred to as the living dinosaur, the tuatara, and many of our birds have evolved in such a way that they no longer fly. Head on over to the blog for a bit more detail about all of that. Aotearoa Kiwi House provides an ideal opportunity to see a wide variety of New Zealand's native and endemic birds all in one place. All the animals here are either part of captive breeding programs or they have been injured and wouldn't survive out in the big wide world. One of the first exhibits you come to as you walk through the entrance is an enclosure with an injured keruru or wood pigeon, who video. Alongside this exhibit were 2 smaller enclosures with the New Zealand green and Auckland green geckos. I was amazed at the difference in the green colours. In other enclosures were skinks and another tuatara. However, the only picture we could get was of a tiger skink's tail end peeking out of a log. Unfortunately, many of our lizards need captive breeding programs to survive due to predation and environmental competition from introduced species such as hedgehogs, who will also snack on them, and turtles. We found some of the coastal and wetland birds such as the godwit, pied stilt, banded rail and white-faced heron really interesting, as we don't see them often. Many of these environments have been drained or filled in, and if you are around a wetland, the birds are often hard to see. Godwits are probably one of the best examples of birds who fly south for the winter, as they migrate to and from North America, Iceland, Siberia, Russia, Mongolia and northern China to New Zealand and back every year. Aotearoa Kiwi House also houses several species of ducks,
of which some species are deemed vulnerable, such as the Theo or blue duck and the teals. The Theo hold a place in my heart as the New Zealand whitewater specialists, and seeing them darting in and out of water I would not dare paddle is an amazing sight. They prefer to be in and around rapid areas on rivers and hard to reach places, which can make them a little more difficult to protect. And there are several community organisations that have thousands of traps out that are checked, cleared and baited by volunteers that work alongside DOC. The kariarea and ruru are some of New Zealand's few birds of prey. The ruru is the remaining native owl and is more commonly known as the moorpork due to its distinctive call that can be heard throughout New Zealand. Although ruru are still being lost through predation, at least these birds, along with the kariarea, get a little of their own back by eating smaller rodents such as mice. One of the highlights of the day came closer to the end of our visit. We managed to call past the kia and kaka enclosures as one of the keepers was finishing up feeding these cheeky native parrots. They are also not adverse to teaming up to complete an objective. The juvenile kia population was moving road cones at the Homer Tunnel in the South Island, which was causing much confusion and led to the development of care gyms. The kaka have a very similar mentality. It's just not as well studied or publicised, and I cannot find any information on the cooperative aspects of kaka groups. While chatting to Sally the keeper, the intelligence of the kia was reinforced. Because kia populate alpine environments, the kia don't tend to hang off the wires of the enclosure or under the branches. Otaronghonga Kiwi House have a younger juvenile kia who she found hanging upside down off the enclosure wires after watching the kaka. It was also cool to see the kia taking the lid off a container and the dexterity of the combination of beak and claws. Thank you to Sally who spent time with us just chatting. Her passion for the job with kia and kaka was evident. I highly recommend stopping into Otaronghonga Kiwi House if you ever get the opportunity. The next video coming will be the final installment of this series, where we spend an amazing afternoon doing the Maunga Tautari Sanctuary Mountain Wetland Tour, where we got to see Tuatara and Takahe. As always, thank you to all of those that support Ant's Ventures. Remember to like, share, subscribe and comment, and remember, thrive, not survive.
Just as long as you stand by me, so you stand by.